Hey everybody, this is Alessio Summerfield of Metal Gear Mondays coming at you before the episode. Whoa, please don't hit that 15 seconds ahead button. Essentially, what I'm trying to say right now is that I wish we could patch podcasts like we can patch video games. We kind of can, but not really. So what I'm going to say is you're going to hear a lot of gibberish and nonsense about some like Forever and Astronaut Patreon or I don't know what, because this is forever ago. What you need to go to is patreon.com/Metal Gear Mondays or Facebook or SoundCloud Metal Gear Mondays, Twitter at Metal Gear Monday for the real deal and all the latest news. Thanks. Enjoy the episode. This week on Metal Gear Mondays, we're going all the way back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and cats, this is Metal Gear Mondays, the podcast where we talk about the Metal Gear Solid franchise and series of games from top to bottom, inside and out, left to right, right to left if you're Japanese, and
That's nice.
mostly chronological order, and we talk about them like a book club. As always, I am your host, Alessio Summerfield, and this week I am joined by Cameron Hill,
Hey.
Isaac Lim,
I love the color orange.
and Samuel Wright.
Damn.
Okay.
And this week we're talking about the original Metal Gear for the MSX2. Yeah. So guys, we're taking it all the way back to the beginning. This is technically the first game, the game that started it all. This game was designed and I don't even know if I want to say directed by, because it's not really a thing at this time. But it was designed and written by Hideo Kojima for Konami and published by Konami. But it was released in 1987 for the MSX2, which for those of you who are not familiar with that system, because it never came stateside, is a Microsoft-based system for Japanese and European territories. The game essentially had a NES port for the United States, which I'm sure most of you guys listening at home are somewhat familiar with. However, that game is not the same game. There have been a lot of significant changes made in the NES version, even though it was ported in the same year. It's super different, so it's not really the same style of game. So yeah, but later the original MSX2 version was ported to mobile phones, and it was ported to the GameCube as part of the premium package for the Twin Snakes. And then in 2005, it was re-released with Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence, the original version, which also came packed with Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. In the US, we kind of got like a sequel to our weird, deformed NES cousin version called Snake's Revenge that was made just for the West for the NES. It was a little less stealthy and felt a little bit more like a Contra game. But yeah. Other notable facts. Essentially, the box art front cover for the original Metal Gear is just a Michael Biehn, Kyle Reese Terminator pose, like completely lifted from the movie The Terminator, the way that Solid Snake is posing. So just straight up copyright, blatant copyright infringement.
But they don't care.
Yeah, they don't give a
That's what they
shit.
do.
Yes.
Welcome to
Japan.
Japan.
Welcome to Japan.
Or we
They don't
take
give
your
a fuck.
stuff.
Yes. But yeah, so the game actually takes place in South Africa in the year 1995. I love how Metal Gear is always like in the future, but not really crazy future. It's like the game came out in '87. This game takes place in 1995.
Well, when Metal Gear Solid 1 came out, because didn't Metal Gear Solid 1 take place in like 2005?
Yeah, it's just it's really weird. It's very quaint. I feel like they don't want to go too crazy.
Even like Rising wasn't like that crazy.
Yeah, I
far
think it
in
was
the
like
future.
2020 something.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So-
But yeah, so we play as Solid Snake on his first ever mission. So a lot of fun parallels to Metal Gear Solid 3. It begins in the wilderness. We're in South Africa. And Snake has to infiltrate the fortress Outer Heaven, which was founded by a legendary mercenary in the 80s, the late 80s. So we'll get to that more in a little bit. Before we deep dive into kind of plot stuff, though, I wanted to talk to you guys kind of about your first experience with this game. So Isaac, I know that you primarily are playing it for the show. Cameron, how did you get to this game? Period. Because I remember technically this was like the first Metal Gear game you played, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I got to this game in a relatively interesting way, and I think it kind of spawned a little bit of hatred that I have towards some of the later series. And it's not what you think. What it is I was so ignorant to Metal Gear as a whole that whenever Huh? Wait,
No.
say what? I
man.
can't hear you.
Hey, there we go.
Hey.
Did you cut out?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry about that. Cameron, would you like
No,
to
no, it's
pick-
fine. Yeah,
pick
yeah.
up?
I'll restart that. I got introduced into this game in like a relatively interesting way, I think. Whenever we were first starting out with the show, Alessio told me to download Metal Gear Solid 1 off of the PlayStation Network and give it a try. And I downloaded Metal Gear 1 and I started playing it. And I was absolutely in love with this game. I got like halfway through, and through talking to him about like plot points, slowly realized that we were talking about a completely different game. And I had to, kind of quickly play through Metal Gear Solid 1. And
And you hated it.
I hated it because it wasn't Metal Gear 1, because this game is just super fun. I love it. Like, the music is awesome.
Yeah.
All the bosses, like, oh man, it's so good. Yeah.
Sweet.
Am I finna be the Cameron on this
Oh,
episode?
Oh,
damn.
you not a
Why
fan?
why can't you just be the Sam on this episode?
Oh.
I'm gonna hate.
What is
real
there to
hard.
hate?
Uh-oh,
Sam,
here we go.
how did you
I like
get
it.
to this game? Let me lay that on.
Initially it was the subsistence version of Metal Gear Solid 3. But I didn't play a whole lot of it. I think this is the first time I've actually played it all the way through for the show. That's kind of how I got my hands on it. I don't know. I don't know if it's just because like it's an older game and I'm not used to playing those or what, but I just wasn't a big fan of it. I thought it was kind of boring and repetitive, honestly. That's me personally though. But
I just like leaving. I like
That's why I'm
leaving
at.
Sam hanging so that
Yeah.
he feels
I
awkward.
can. I
Yeah,
I
I'm like,
feel you
I'm
on that.
just
It is
gonna-
pretty repetitive. I think. Like, the gameplay isn't super in depth by any means, and like it's definitely a broken system. As you know, we'll talk about how like easy it is to like walk right next to people and them not notice you, and like all the things that you shouldn't think would work are like actually the only way that things work, which is fun.
Yeah. That's the my main problem with it came from actually that, because I never really knew what the plane would allow me to get away with and what it wouldn't. So it was like, okay, this guy doesn't see me and I'm standing right here right next to him, so let me try this, and then they'll randomly see me like when I'm standing far away from him, or like the dogs will see me through walls and start chasing me or something like
Yeah.
that. Like that big old room where there's like a bunch of walls inside of walls you have to blow up to get to the
Yeah.
center. Like they'll just wake up and start chasing you, and you're like on the other side.
Yeah,
of
that
walls.
one is
Doesn't make
pretty
any sense.
frustrating. But I think that's just like, I guess you said you haven't really played a whole lot of older games in this style, and like that's, well, have you not?
Well, not since I've been an adult. Maybe well, the reason what I'm saying is like I'm not really it's been a while since I played like an older
Oh,
game,
okay.
like NES
Yeah.
style anything.
It's
So it's a little bit
yeah,
different.
it's definitely a learning curve, and it's like different game to game. Like you just kind of have to figure out the rules of the game design. And I mean, I think once you can move past, or I don't know, find a way to sort of exploit those flaws, it becomes fun. And to me, that's kind of the fun part, is figuring out like how to break that system.
Infinite ammo. Like it's so easy to just
Yeah.
like, stock up on ammo.
Yeah, and like
Yeah,
walk
let
in
me
and out
let
of
me
the
walk
truck.
out of this room and walk back
yeah,
into this.
to get rations. Yeah, man, like you should never have supply problems.
For sure. Well, and on top of that too, I definitely want to use this time to not only reiterate the fact that the game came out in 1987, but also reiterate the fact that this is kind of one of the first stealth games, like ever, like proper, I guess. So there's gonna be a lot of shit that doesn't work. I think
Yeah.
it's funny to see how broken the systems are, and yet like how much of that carried over. Where it's just like, ha ha ha, we're gonna since guards being super stupid about where you're at, is such like a big like an integral part of you actually getting through the game. Because I mean, if they were super smart, you'd never be able to beat the game.
No,
So it's funny
absolutely
how
not.
much of that kind of like carries over into like Metal Gear Solid 1 with like, oh, what was that noise? And just like stupid stuff like that, and like them not being able to see you at all. But yeah, it's funny.
And, then there was the other thing that I didn't like was the cards and how they're each a
gosh.
separate item instead of your
Yeah.
card just being upgraded to open all the doors.
Yeah.
It was like I don't know what were the doors like all different colors to specify which one
Nope.
which one lets you in.
That's the part that I hated
Yeah.
the most.
That's when you're like running
I'm
and
just
you're
like,
just
so I
like,
just
let me
have
try
to-
this card, let me try this card, let me try this card.
Ugh.
And, like
Yeah.
really sucked when you're in like
Okay, I just,
poison
like-
areas and things like that, where you're rapidly losing health trying to try out the cards, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like, man, give me some sort of indication,
I was-
or just give me a MasterCard.
An actual master.
Yeah, I was like, well, it was kind of
Give me
like
the Visa.
it was kind of like I just like there's like 9 of them or something like that, and it gets frustrating
Yeah.
switching in between them all the time, because it's just like I thought maybe I was being stupid and like there was some type of system to it, so you knew which is which, but no, they're just you just have to guess.
And then remember
And
when
it
you have to
sucks.
come back to that area later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We complained about backtracking in Metal Gear Solid 1. Oh my god.
Well, and I will say this: the fun thing about this game is that the fastest speed run that I've been able to find is like 32 minutes. B, this is totally one of those
Oh,
games where you
jeez.
could just play alongside the speed run and just fucking pause your game,
Yeah.
watch like 5 seconds of the speed run, and then just play that 5 seconds, and then just do that all the way through, and still kind of get the gist of the story and stuff. I mean, there's not. We're going to talk about it real quick. As a matter of fact, we should probably cover it before we get too crazy down other stuff. The
It's just very bare
yeah,
bones.
it's super bare bones. I'm not gonna like. So if you go to there are a lot of different like wiki sites that have very flowery versions of what happened. Yeah, just like like I don't understand how the fuck you write like 10 pages on what happened in this game. But I would love for them to come back and remake this game and flesh it out. That would be awesome.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But we're just going to talk about it how it kind of happened on the screen. So, essentially, the main sort of mission is titled Operation Intrude N312 or N312. Super familiar name, both. So Colonel Campbell in MGS2, when he's having his little freak out, he mentions this. And then it's also kind of mentioned again in 5 and some other stuff. So this number comes up again and again. But in kind of rough estimation, the Foxhound was the high-tech Special Forces Unit Foxhound, commanded by Big Boss, we know that name, got sent to infiltrate Outer Heaven in South Africa because they are working on a weapon that is posing a massive threat to the West. Gray Fox was like the top dog at Foxhound, no pun intended, and he went and got his ass handed to him. And so they send in. I don't understand how it goes from let's send in our best dude ever to let's send in the greenest dude ever. Like,
Well, I think Big Boss kind of explains it.
yeah, I mean, totally. But anyway, so that's Operation Intrude N312 with Gray Fox. and then legitimately, and like I'm pretty sure this is in like the opening moments of the game when they're explaining it to you, we're then introduced to Operation Intrude N313. So which is us intruding as Snake, which makes no sense. So does that mean they've lost 312 operators to this mission already? That's kind of the vibe I get. But yeah,
Hey.
I don't know.
Yikes.
Anyway, rookie boy Solid Snake gets sent in for his first assignment. We're immediately greeted with some broken fucking English.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least in the NES version, I think. I don't believe it's in the MSX version until later. But yeah, so I feel asleep. We get to see right away. And essentially we break into Outer Heaven, and we got to start looking for Gray Fox. It kind of plays out almost identical to Metal Gear Solid 1, except the names are kind of shifted around. So Snake ends up contacting Kyle Schneider, who's the Resistance leader, who we're not... It's weird to me that there's even a Resistance leader, because this is totally just like a base in the middle of the woods. They don't do a good job of kind of setting up any of the big picture stuff. But good old Kyle Schneider, which sounds like the most African name I can think of, he tells Snake that he should allow himself to get captured. And then essentially Snake does get captured. And then he finds Gray Fox by tapping on secret walls, which become a massive headache and a point of contention later in the game. And we discover Gray Fox pre Cyborg Ninja.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah, which is dope because Cameron got to see it first and then got to play Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah.
But
Wait, Gray Fox is the ninja?
what?
Shit.
But Gray Fox tells us about Metal Gear. He essentially just tells us what everybody else does, which is that it's a walking battle tank and it can shoot nukes. And that essentially Gray Fox tells Snake that he needs to find Dr. Drago Petrovich Dr. Madnar, and that he's the creator of Metal Gear and he's the only one who knows how to destroy it. We fight a bunch of bosses kind of as we exit through here. Well, not a bunch of bosses. We fight our first boss, Shotmaker, which is all the bosses have really stupid names. Cameron,
I disagree.
the next boss is your favorite. So
Yeah,
can you tell
none
us
of
about
these
this
bosses. None of these bosses have stupid names. These are all quality names. All right, you're looking.
I feel like I feel like half of these are in Wu-Tang, right?
guy? Oh
gonna
yeah,
have-
probably.
Oh man, like
They're part
names
of the
like
stages.
names like Shotmaker and my absolute favorite. I'll just get this out of the way. Machine Gun Kid. It's just the coolest name.
Seriously, there's like, if you take away the ID and add ELLY, that's Machine Gun Kelly.
I like
He's already he's like a third of the way to
I
being
like
a rapper.
the idea of them giving a machine gun to like an 8-year-old kid and being like, "Fucking just whatever, dude."
And just be like, oh, he's a kid. He's super good with machine guns. Machine Gun Kid. And that's how that worked. And then
Actually,
you've got other
first-
names like
first registered child soldier in a Metal Gear game. Is Machine Gun Kid.
Oh damn!
how does it kind of
Oh,
explain like does never mind, this game doesn't explain anything.
Yeah, for once, we don't have to complain about extremely long cutscenes where they repeat things to us.
Yeah, it's
Can I tell you what my favorite part about this game that they like the lack of explanation? Just randomly, Big Boss will call you, saying, "Hey, they're trying to scramble our radio. We're good though." Why?
just to give that added
What are you
sense of
doing?
tension.
We
Yeah.
good though.
Yeah, dude.
Dope.
We good, fam. Like what? What?
So guys,
Yeah.
I just
What?
stumbled across there is actually a very lengthy biography for Machine Gun Kid.
How?
Oh,
I don't
geez.
understand. I don't even understand where it comes
Like-
up. But
Let's hear
I
it.
will I will also say that I'll read you the Japanese phonetic name here in a second because it's beautiful.
Oh,
But
please
there's
tell
also
me.
artwork
That's what I think it
of
is.
Machine Gun Kid in the Metal Gear
Oh,
Solid 4
fuck yeah.
database app that you can install.
I think there's artwork
Oh, damn.
of all of the
he-
bosses from
he
this
looks
game in
like
there.
shit.
Actually,
But anyway, his Japanese name is Machine
Jesus.
Gun Kido.
yeah.
you take off his mask and he has striking red hair, and you find out that he's secretly Matt Campbell's son.
Also, I did not realize this. The boss fight between Snake and Machine Gun Kid is shown in Metal Gear Solid 4 during a flashback sequence.
What?
Is it?
Like from
Yeah.
the MSX
Yeah,
game, or
from
like
the
did they?
MSX.
Oh, that's
render it?
hilarious.
Oh my
Oh
god!
yeah. That's awesome.
Oh my
All
god!
right. Anyway, moving along really quickly, because there's not a lot to fuck with. Snake gets to go to the rooftop of a building, which that sounds like something we did in Metal Gear Solid 1. Then he has to dive into
Matt?
the inner courtyard with a parachute instead of a zip line or whatever the rappel thing was called. You have to. This is so weird. It feels like Zelda almost, where you have to wear a bomb blast suit to bypass the wind barrier. And then you fight off a Hind D, which we also have done in Metal Gear Solid 1. You parachute into this courtyard into Dr. Madner's cell, and then it's empty. And then there's another hostage in there, but they say that Dr. Madnar has been relocated to the basement. They may as well have fucking said, thank you for rescuing me, but the doctor is in another castle. Because then we have to go to the basement of Building 2, which basements and buildings are very much the language of Metal Gear. I don't understand. The buildings are separated by a desert.
Hell yeah.
Like, I don't. How are
Yeah.
those two?
They're separated
How
by
are
a
they two buildings
desert
that
with-
are part of
with-
the same facility if they're separated by a fucking desert?
They're separated by a desert and missiles are falling.
Yeah. Oh, and you battle a tank.
Except, yeah, and then there's a tank there for some reason.
Yeah. Also, you can get lost in the desert and travel forever. So.
Yes.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I didn't have that problem because I'm so dope. Isaac, did you get
Yep.
lost?
I did.
You did? Yeah.
It was fun.
I'm pretty sure I got lost as well. I think at that point I looked that up. I think the only times that I had to look things up in this game were desert and secret walls that you had to blow up.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my god.
It's probably just the
Kill me.
Yeah, man, awful. Like, oh,
And
Talk about-
you can kill dogs.
Oh, yeah. You kill a lot of dogs.
Yeah, it's encouraged.
Yeah, it
Someday.
is.
Actually,
Well, they're rabid.
like they're very
They are
fast.
Oh, they're coming for that snake booty.
Yeah.
This is his first mission though. He hadn't done
That's
enough
right.
squats yet. It's not fat booty yet.
The fattest ass.
Have you ever tried outrunning a dog before?
Yeah.
Have you, Isaac?
Not.
Well,
that-
see, this is where he starts.
It's very scary. Let me just put it that way.
He gets all that lower body exercise from running from dogs.
Yeah. But yeah,
Oh, my butt! It looks so good.
so essentially we get into this little checkpoint area in Building 2. Big Boss contacts us, suggesting we use a disguise to get past, which is weird. And then essentially we got to enter through this little waterway. We go through this like submerged set of rooms. My favorite boss, where we fight a fucking armored bulldozer for no reason.
It's coming down a hallway
Yeah, I
at
don't know
you.
if you guys enjoyed that. I love
What?
that.
Great.
That's my favorite boss is the last one before
Metal Gear.
before Big Boss.
Oh, the Metal Gear?
Mr. Dirty Duck.
Oh, the Dirty Duck.
That dirty, dirty duck.
I looked up that bulldozer, and it's nicknamed Doobie, which is Hebrew for teddy bear.
What?
I don't know.
What?
I don't understand.
Is this real?
Yeah, I mean this is on the Metal Gear Wicca.
I'm pretty sure.
So
Hideo
I take it
Kojima
as
does a nut
gospel.
job. But yeah, so anyway, we keep going through the basement. We find Dr. Madnar, but whoa, just like in Metal Gear Solid 1, turns out he's not really Dr. Madnar, and he activates a
Dun-dun-dun.
suicide trap.
Oh shit.
Dun-dun-dun.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's a
Snake
trap.
avoids the trap, and then he just keeps looking for the real dude. But we encounter good old Fire Trooper on the way,
Hell yeah.
who may as well just be called Fury.
Well, you know.
Pre-Fury.
Yeah, he's the pre-cum to the Fury.
Oh,
Actually, it would be the
Jesus.
post.
Can I just talk about how? Yeah. Can I talk about how like easy that boss battle was?
Oh yeah.
Because none of them are particularly difficult, but like
I thought machine or
With-
shoot
with-
gunner was hard because you no, was it machine gun kid? Do you have to like pop them from a distance while he shoots down the halls?
Machine Machine Gun Kid was a little challenging, but like with Fireman, what the
Fire
fuck is his
Trooper.
name? Fire Trooper.
Fireman.
Fireman. It's Fireman. With Fire Trooper, like I took a little bit of damage to get right next to him, and he was still doing the sweep, and I just like fucked him up with my gun, and he died real quick.
Dang,
Like,
dude.
that wasn't that hard.
I like the
It was not that
pro
hard.
tip, kids. Fuck them up with your gun. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
how else to beat this boss.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like he's just because I like people like might try to like dodge the fire and like pop shot him. No, just like run right into it for a second and then stand next to him. He doesn't do shit.
It's gonna hurt for a second.
stands there.
You gotta do it. It's like peeling off a band-aid.
Yeah, dude. It's
Rip.
just like you just gotta take care of it. Just gotta do your thing, man.
But yeah, so Snake then encounters Jennifer, who's a Resistance member, and Snake's love interest for the episode that we're in.
And don't you let anything happen to her brother, otherwise she's not gonna help you
Yeah,
anymore.
that doesn't sound like Amanda and Chico in future games at all. Pretty sure they just like rehash everything from Metal Gear 1.
Yeah, everything comes from
Yeah,
this.
it all comes from here, kids. But yeah, so I like the descriptor for Jennifer in some of the guides. It's Resistance member who helped Snake locate the real Dr. Madnar and provided him with rocket launcher.
Yeah.
So
Fuck yeah. That's how I like my women. The ones that give me rocket
Yeah.
that
launchers.
Oh.
guy to me. Give me
Whoa.
a rocket launcher.
Maybe that's why my relationships haven't been that successful. Is because I'm focusing on the ones that give me rocket launchers.
Do you actually have
Actually,
rocket
really.
launchers that have been given to you by women?
Yeah, I got like 4 of them.
I think I'm gonna drive to Ohio tonight.
Just
I'll
on
be
your
there.
Tinder profile, just write, if you ain't giving out rocket launchers, swipe left.
Yeah.
Save you some hassle.
Not here for hookups, only rocket launchers.
Oh no.
Jesus. But yeah, so then we fight Bloody Brad and his little
Bloody
robot
Brad.
stuff.
Yeah, Bloody Brad, another great name.
Bloody Brad. Isaac, we didn't ask you what's your favorite boss.
Pasta? I like spaghetti.
Boss. Spaghetti. Well, it's good to know. Not what I asked.
Maybe a little bit of angel hair, if I do so say myself.
Oh my god. Funnily enough, spaghetti and angel hair are two
You know?
bosses in this
Okay, one.
I wasn't really a fan of any of them, I must say.
Oh my god.
They were either like, they
Damn.
were all way too easy / annoying.
Damn, dude, coming from Isaac.
Damn, too
Um,
good.
Damn.
Isaac got MLG.
To the throat.
Yo, I'm fucking sponsored and I fucking hate this trash. It's just too easy.
Y'all gotta be
Sips on
drinking that Mountain
Nas
Dew,
while
man.
And a nice
no,
cold rock star.
Oh my god. This is great.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You can tell we're all
Anyway.
very tired or punchy. I don't know. I got up at 3 o'clock. This
Punchy.
Punch drunk.
So yeah, after killing, destroying. I don't understand if Bloody Brad's a human or a robot or an animal.
The name.
He's a
we
robot.
put Bloody Brad down.
He's a robot.
Yeah, dude. We made Bloody Brad real bloody. Oh, what up?
Or we cleaned him up.
Clean that heart up
yeah.
real good.
Yep. Dr. Madnar essentially is kind of blackmailing you, telling you that he does not want to tell you how to destroy Metal Gear until you rescue his daughter. So now we're on another goddamn rescue mission in the basement of Building 2.
Yeah.
And then we get
Stupid.
contacted by another Resistance member, which is Diane, because there are too many people, and you don't even see any of these people's faces. So
Yeah. Too many like stereotypical African names. Come on,
yeah,
guys.
come on, let's try
It's
things a little different.
Dion, okay, and
And
Whoa, Isaac. That's racist.
well, so fun fact, we got an email the other day from I thought it was pronounced Danish. I was told it's Danish.
What?
But I can't help but just laugh that I feel like this person is named Danish in reality. So if that makes you feel better about your story, Isaac, with your name.
okay, great.
It's
Wait,
still a little racist though. Anyway, so we get contacted by Diane, who then tells us how to locate Ellen. But guess what, guys? She's in the basement of Building 1.
Oh no.
So now we have to go from one basement to another, but you don't have to go through the desert. They're actually connected through underground passage. However, the underground passage is filled with
good.
traps, and it's Secret Wall City. This is the
Gross.
worst part of the game. I'll put that out there.
yes.
Isaac, how did you do? How did you deal with this?
I'm gonna be frank and honest and blunt. I followed the guide, so it went pretty well. You know.
Swimmingly.
Sweet, yeah.
Well, if you listen to the previous episode before last week's with me and Nick Freda, Nick approved of the guide usage. So I think you fall in the guidelines. You're fine.
Fall on. I like that.
yeah, dude.
Stamp of
Thank you,
Freda.
Nick, for your blessing.
Nick's just an enabler of bad habits.
He's
I was like, Nick, hold on. I'm going to call you after I smoke a cigarette. And he was like, don't worry, just have 2 before you call me.
oh dang. Oh dang.
That wasn't a good freestyle. But, nah, yeah, he's a great guy.
Let's not even get started on Marley.
What?
Who?
Don't
Marl.
worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Oh, wait, what do
Marley.
you
I
say?
don't want to talk about Marley. It's
Okay.
Marl.
Anyway,
What do
Oh
you
my
say?
God.
Yeah, you.
me?
Marley. Marley and me? Is there a goddamn Y at the end of that? Anyway.
Yikes.
You guys should check out. This is a cool time to plug, actually. You guys should check out Cameron's show that he hosts with Nick Freda called Grindcore. That's now on the network. It's fucking great.
I'm not calling this woman Marl. It's a woman. It's not a woman's
Fucking
name.
Japanese, and it's Maru Maru. So I ain't putting no
Maru.
E up in there.
Yeah, so Nick and Cameron do what we're doing right now, except way less hallucinogenically. What's the word? Deliriously.
Oh no.
And
We do it
much
early in the
more-
morning, not when everyone's
Yeah.
super sleepy.
That's true. But yeah, so anyway, continuing. We rescue Ellen, and she tells Snake that her father had been forced to develop Metal Gear against his will, as is all scientists who make Metal Gear.
Very true. Very true.
This series is just like Star Wars. It's just like the same thing rehashed a million times over. It's great.
And if you pay $5 a month or more, you can join our Slack and get in on the battle royale, which is Cameron versus the world about Star Wars.
Oh man, that dude was he was real distraught at the things that I was saying. Like there's a real sense of urgency. I could hear his keyboard flailing as he was responding to my hatred.
Like Machine Gun Kid
Yeah.
at the ready. All right, so fuck, this is good. I don't apologize because this is more fun to listen to, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
So anyway, after Snake goes back to Dr. Madnark because this whole fucking game is just retreading old ground. We find out
Mad
about
Dog.
Metal Gear TX 55, which is what you would expect all Metal Gears to be named, is like random numbers and letters. But this is, I think, one of the only
Nah,
games that
dude.
does it. I think all the rest they have names.
Hey, I think you skipped over a relatively important person. This was Dirty Duck.
Yeah, dude.
Did I skip Dirty Duck?
You
skipped
skipped
Dirty Duck?
Dirty Duck completely. It's my
Dude, you
favorite
skipped
one.
Dirty
Duck.
Duck was in the drainage duct, like after.
He had the boomerangs.
I think that was
Dirty
closer
Duck-
to the end.
Dirty Duck's the 100 floor basement, which is a nightmare, which is after this.
Oh, whoops. Sorry, I got a little too excited
Is
about
it?
Dirty Duck.
Hey,
and
let's talk
Eggplant.
about him though.
His terrorist group, Eggplant.
Oh my god.
Who writes this shit?
I want
no.
to say that maybe
Oh,
it's
no.
translation issues, but
Hideo Kojima,
Like,
He was just a boy.
Here.
our hero.
But yeah, so much like we've been making allusions to the Wu-Tang, Snake has to go through 100 floors of this basement.
where he meets Martin Shkreli and duels for the album.
He duels with his liquid swords.
Oh,
But yeah, and not only is it a 100 floor basement, but it's 100 floors in Building 3, which is approximately 20 kilometers away.
You can't put a number on that distance. you just can't.
How many kilometers? You know how many you could hatch two 10K
That's right.
eggs.
Yeah, dude,
That's
you
a
could
good point.
run 4 5Ks.
Yeah, dude. 4 eggs. Hatching
Yeah,
4
dude.
eggs.
But
Or
how many
10
incubators?
2-kilometer eggs.
You don't want those.
Yeah, dude.
Toss them in the gutter.
Dude, I did a
They're all
just real
Weevils.
quick aside. I did a 10-kilometer egg. It was a CP24 Onyx, and I was extremely pissed that it took weeks to get. I'm glad that you guys can all have a good laugh.
I had
It's
my
very upsetting.
I had a 10K egg, and I got a Rattata from it, and I uninstalled the
what?
game.
What?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's
That's awesome.
heartbreaking.
All right. Anyway, back to the task at hand. Determined to destroy Metal Gear, Snake heads into Building 3. And guess what, guys? Because this doesn't happen every time. He gets ambushed by enemy forces, but manages to slip his way onto an elevator, and there's a fight on the elevator. And then Big Boss starts acting strangely by providing you with faulty information. We eventually get to the 100th floor basement, which is, I can't put into human language how painful that is. And you get there and you realize you don't have the right card key.
Ooh.
And this is supposed to happen. It made me very upset the first time it happened.
Yeah.
But Jennifer calls you again, and you got to figure out some shit with an oxygen tank. You got to swim through a drainage duct. It just never ends, guys.
Backtrack
And on
galore.
top of that, you have to save her brother. You got to save Jennifer's brother because everybody wants Snake to
Yeah.
save somebody that you have no idea what they look like or if they're even in existence.
So when I did this,
Oh yeah, and then cue
When
the
I
dirty
did
duck.
this-
So this is the dirty duck.
yeah, this is when you get Dirty Duck. You have to, he's throwing his boomerangs. You have to kill him without killing her brother. And I accidentally killed 2 of them. 2 of the hostages, and I think the one in the front is her brother.
Yeah.
So I killed the 2 in the back, and the one in the front was her brother. So she still helped me.
The thing that I hate is if you kill one hostage, it drops a class.
Oh yeah. When you
And-
gain classes by collecting more hostages.
I know, but you got to collect like 10 hostages to gain one class, and you kill one
You get more
hostage.
health too, right?
Yeah, you get more health and more storage for your.
Well, Isaac, I hate to sound
Sound away.
contrarian, but these are human lives. So if one dies, it should impact a little bit.
But come on, man, really? Yeah, you're probably
But
right.
yeah, I understand that. Sam, can you tell us about this duck, this filthy duck?
This filthy, dirty Duck. He's throwing boomerangs and shit, dude. It's fucking awesome. And that's literally all. And then I killed him. That's all you need to know.
Great guy.
Yes.
Real good guy. Had to die though.
Yeah. Well, and so tell us a little bit, Sam, or was it Cameron that was alluding to this terrorist organization?
Yeah, he's part.
Eggplant.
He was the leader. He was the head honcho of a terrorist group named Eggplant, and that's. I mean, that's enough. Enough is said right there, I guess. Like,
Eggplant.
Yeah, I wasn't
It's-
quite sure why the hell it was called Eggplant, or why we needed to know about a terrorist organization that had nothing to do with the other things that had already been happening.
Yeah,
Yeah, nothing. There's
I'm racking my brain trying to think of the relevance, and just
So what
nothing
you guys
comes to mind.
Don't know is that Metal Gear Solid 5 is all about Eggplant.
oh fuck. It's all been leaning. It's all been leaning to this one. They thirsted for this one, Eggplant.
It makes sense.
But yeah, so anyway, we cook the dirty duck, rescue a bunch of POWs, including Jennifer's brother. He thanks Snake, gets some information, aids him to escape from the fortress. And we go back to the 100th floor basement. Schneider calls us about Outer Heaven's leader. His transmission gets cut off. And then Snake is in the Metal Gear hangar, and shit gets real, and Metal Gear gets destroyed with bombs, pretty much. You just throw bombs at its feet. It's kind of a weird...
Oh, I fucking hate this battle
Yeah, me too.
because the fucking lasers
Yeah,
drive me insane.
because they free. If you get hit, you like freeze for a split
Yeah.
second.
Yeah, and it's like, and it's not like you have a chance to avoid them. They're just, if you get in front of them, they're just like there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's kind of... It's almost like a ration fest.
yeah. Wasn't like, because like right before this happens, I'm pretty sure, what does Jennifer say? It calls you, is like there's an electric floor and there's no panel to blow it up, and she's like, yeah, just just make a run for it. If you have plenty of rations to go for it, and then you have to do this.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the fuck, you dumb bitch, get out of here.
Yes.
I'm
So, but yeah, that happens, and then on the way out, as we are running, because Outer Heaven, the entire fucking facility goes on self-destruct sequence all of a sudden. And as Outer Heaven countdown is happening, Snake is making a break for it, and then dum dum dum, Big Boss has been talking to us over our codec this entire time. Reveals that he is actually the head of Outer Heaven.
Oh no!
And Snake is informed that he was only sent there to gather false information to send back to the U.S. so that they would be off the trail, and that Snake got too far, guys, and that Big Boss is gonna have to put him down.
Yikes.
But we put him down. What was that fight like? What do you guys think?
I just blew him up with missiles.
Yeah. pretty easy.
Honestly, I kind of like ran up and down.
It was
the thing.
epic as it was intended.
No, not at all. I just kind of like ran and then like fired a missile, and then like the residuals got him. I just kept on doing that. Took some damage. It was fine.
I just
It was like,
I just let him put me down because I put down like hundreds of his dogs,
Oh dang.
Oh,
so I
wow.
feel like I deserved it.
just let him put you down like the dog you are.
Amen.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isaac,
Can
how'd
we,
you feel about that boss fight?
Oh, the boss fight? It would have been a little bit better if he moved at all, but he didn't.
He just took it, dude. He's old.
Hey, bro, quick tip. Try wiggling around a bit.
Just move a little. No, you could just fire a missile and anywhere he would be in the vicinity. He didn't try to
Yeah, absolutely.
move.
Pro tip: you're less likely to die if you move. Cheat code:
Chico.
move.
Can we talk about the trapdoor galore?
Trapdoor
Room.
galore.
God.
Run.
Yes,
Fuck the trapdoors,
with the
dude.
flashlight.
I was
room.
so mad at those
I
doors
hated
because like
that.
they just pop up randomly, and I thought I got around one, and I got caught on like a pixel
Up
on the edge
yes.
of one, and I died. Like, what the fuck, man? If this was a real trapdoor, I would have been fine. But no, just because you're on the fucking MSX doesn't mean that you have to be shit. Or maybe it does. I don't know.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, dude.
Ooh, what is this bizarro
Well, we're-
universe where Sam's spitting all this hate?
I feel alive.
So I got
right?
a new
feel
name.
like
I got a new name for the Metal Gear. It's TX55. I'm gonna start calling it Texas.
Yeah.
oh,
This is
What's the
Metal Gear
55?
good.
Can you say
And,
Texas again?
This is Metal Gear Texas.
Texas.
TX.
And,
TX, yes.
I just want to let me just wrap a bow on this shit real quick. So, Snake barrels on out of that shit. Outer Heaven's blowing up all around him. Metal Gear blew up, and the operation was a success. And that's it. He's good. And then, shortly thereafter, South American radio station KNK reports breaking news of an earthquake happening in the region, and then the sun sets.
Yeah.
Cover up.
And that's
Yeah.
it.
And like Snake, like before this news thing happened, Snake like calls Big Boss's fucking codec number and was like, "I'm out. No problem though. Just doing my job. Just doing my job." Like, what the fuck? What? Why? What are you doing? He's like, "No big deal, guys. I just did my job. Don't worry about me. Don't worry. It's cool. I just did it. I did my job."
Hashtag love you, Dad.
Hashtag love you, Dad. Even though you're dead, or is he?
Oh,
Yeah,
dang.
even though we don't know if you're dead or not, or if you're
Yeah.
dad or not, because that shit,
Oh.
shit was retrofitted on there later. But yeah,
It's fucking like there's even a post-credit sequence, and it's like Big Boss is like, "You thought I was dead, but I'm not. Sorry, dude." To nobody in particular.
yeah, pretty much. One later, so this is kind of hinted at later, but apparently NATO and Foxhound and all these other people decided to drop a bunch of bombs on Outer Heaven to wipe it off the face of the earth, and apparently Big Boss, spoiler alert, who's not dead, ended up saving all kinds of people that were caught in the explosion and kind of rebuilding later, but apparently like recruited a shit ton of people to his side just by like saving people in this crazy explosion, because nobody felt the need to ask themselves, oh, were these explosions maybe caused by this man who decided to build a war machine in our country? But yeah, so that's Big Boss.
Oh man.
Crazy.
Fucking
Yeah.
Big
Sorry if it sounds like a
Boss.
fever dream to you guys listening, but if you play it, it kind of fucking is.
Yeah, it kind of is a fever dream.
Yeah.
It's like a big.
It's like a 5-year-old. It's like somebody explained to a 5-year-old the plot of Metal Gear and was like, "I can tell him to write a game." That's pretty much what it was. It was like even the names. It's like this guy's like it sounds like a 5-year-old came up with the names of the bosses. This guy's Fired Man.
the Dirty Duck.
That guy's. Why is his name's Dirty Duck? Because he's dirty and he's a duck.
Yeah, the
It's
Fast
like,
and
this
Furious
one is-
writers wrote this game.
This guy has a machine gun. What's his name? Machine Gun Kid. It's me.
That's where the creator puts a little bit of themselves into the story.
Aha.
That's still from the writing kid's mouth.
Yeah.
Cameron is still voicing the kid who's writing the script.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's it.
It's like the end of the game. There's like a secret ending, kind of like the dog ending of the Silent Hill games. It's like a little kid in the control center. It's been me all along.
Turns out that the little kid is actually one of those little aliens from Men in Black inside of Hideo Kojima's head.
Yeah, dude.
I'm
with
a
it.
firm believer that this game would be a 10 out of 10 if Hideo had had enough sense to hire Isaac, and Isaac could be there and be like, I think you should just make that boss move, maybe. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, dude.
Just give it a shot, I guess. Like,
Hey, see what kind of
Press A to
like.
try surviving.
Oh no.
Press A to exist.
But yeah, so Big Boss takes it like a champ. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Do you guys have any final thoughts before we wrap this fucker up?
Fuck this game. I'm kidding. I don't. It's. I'm sure it was a fine game for its time, but I don't like it. The end. Applesauce.
that's
Applesauce.
That's all.
Applesauce out of apple pie is what I give that game.
Ew. Can't do that.
Yep.
What you think?
Oh, that's what I do. I did it.
Isaac, what you got, dude?
I thought it was a fun little game. You kind of have to put yourself in that time frame and then grit through the whole process. But yeah, it was fun.
I have a
I'll
question. Would
give
you play
it.
this on a mobile phone?
Oh,
No.
huh.
Because this is a mobile port. Can you imagine fucking playing this on a phone? That sounds terrible.
No, it does sound terrible.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I would give it an orange out of apple.
Okay. Cameron,
I love that, like, really quick. I love that, like, yeah, if you're willing to suffer through it, then it's
It's
good.
a fun game. Yeah.
Thanks, Isaac.
I mean, that's what people tell me about, the Metal
Uh-oh.
Gear Solid games as well.
Damn.
Damn, dude. I don't think anybody said anything about suffering through it.
It's
Oh,
like,
dang.
yeah, no, that's true. I mean, I don't think it's suffering to, play a game like this because, like I mentioned in the very beginning, it's all about just like figuring out the ways of the universe, I guess. And admittedly, yes, there is a fair amount of suffering with like, secret walls and stuff like that. That's just like a little too out there and not really put together. But I don't know. I mean, I think this game is awesome. Yeah, I really dug it. I thought the gameplay was good. I thought the characters were hilarious. More so just like not really having any sort of super large plot behind them. It was just like, I'm Machine Gun Kid and I like machine guns and here I go. And I like that simplicity. I like it. I think it's fun. I think it's enjoyable, and it's yeah.
Do you think that simplicity would hold up if the graphics were better, though?
No, not at all. Yeah, not at all. I like
Appreciate the clarification.
I kind of want to play like Metal Gear 1 in the Fox engine with the same dialogue and story.
That would not work at all. And I mean, same goes reverse. Like if you were playing this game but with like Metal Gear Solid 3 type plot line and like just all of that being in text, it would be awful.
I would listen to like an 8-bit version of the Metal Gear Solid 3 soundtrack. Though.
Oh hell yeah, I'm sure that exists.
I'm looking up 8-bit chiptune, 8-bit Snake Eater theme song.
Nice. Well, I give this game punching dogs in the ass until they die out of 5.
Whoa,
It's a good score.
Okay.
Can I change my score?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
I need to account for Dirty Duck because Dirty Duck is the greatest villain in any game ever. I give this game a pumpkin pie out of Angry Guy.
Oh, was that straight off the dome, or was that like a little pre-prepared
dude.
thing? That was straight off the dome.
No, I just
Damn.
came up with that like 5
That
seconds
was
ago.
good, dude.
Thanks, man.
Well, fuck yeah, guys.
And Alessio, you better use the 8-bit version of our theme song for this episode.
We can't. There's not a VR mission theme in MSX Town.
Well, that was the opening thing when you're coming up to the base. Was like that's where the VR
Oh,
mission
you're
song
right.
came from. Remember? Yeah, dude.
That's right. I forgot.
And like the VR missions, like is dun 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 dun. All that came from this one. All right, we should go.
Things are getting weird. All right,
tell them about the network.
I'm gonna tell him. So, Soldier Boy, tell him geekti.me. Check out the rest of the Geek Time stuff, like Grindcore, which is great. The Geek Time podcast and Toast that Sam does are also great. Everything's great. Mad Bad Book Club. Isaac's gonna get a show at some point, but you should
Yeah.
help us pressure him.
You guys-
by writing him emails every day.
You just wait.
Write
It's
him
coming.
emails or tweet him at
No, he
doesn't
doesn't
have a
check
twit.
that. You gotta email him directly.
Yeah, you got to email
But you
him.
gotta,
He's got
you gotta
49
discover his
followers.
Email. I can't tell you that.
You got 49.
Or call me.
It's actually surprisingly stereotypical.
Yeah, you should just call Isaac every hour until he starts the
Yeah.
podcast show.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Call him, beep him if you want to reach him.
yes.
I appreciate
But
that.
you, can
Anyway.
also, you can also go to soundcloud.com/geektime network, Twitter, Facebook, and iTunes. Also, Geek Time Network stuff if you just search it. YouTube as well. And yeah, you can go to patreon.com/Geek Time Network to kick us some bucks to get some shows early. Kick us some bucks because that's what Dirty Ducks do. God damn it.
Oh,
Bucks with
yeah.
an X.
Yeah, with all the X's.
Damn, another straight off the dome.
Yeah, we're just
good.
really good at this stuff.
You're riff raff.
So really quick, I just need to do an update on Isaac's Twitter.
Me?
Because remember, he needs 50 followers. It's been a while since we talked about this, but he needs 50 followers to do another tweet. He has 49.
Oh yeah.
We've got Flame Soldier at the Fury.
You mean Flame Trooper?
Yeah, no, Flame Soldier.
No, no,
Whose description is, I love barbecues. So that's cool.
Oh.
Then you've got Vegetiniho. I don't know. That's fine. Then we've got Ashley Johnson. And then my good pal Dan Harris.
Thanks, Dan.
No, I'm being. I know this person in real life.
I thought
Dan,
the Twitter
three-
handle was my good pal Dan.
I wish. I'm gonna text him and tell him to change it. But no, it's Dan322 Ghost. He's actually been listening to the show in his squad car. Major respect to my friend Dan.
Oh
and Blue.
dang.
Thanks, Dan.
And he texted me.
The Blue Dan you.
What was it? Blue Dan, you. But he texted me a couple nights ago. He was listening to Metal Gear Solid 2 Part 3, and he noticed us wondering why Pliskin went by Lieutenant Junior grade and not just Junior Lieutenant. And apparently the Navy and the Coast Guard have a rank that is actually Lieutenant Junior grade, and that's why he goes by it. It's not like some fake rank he made up for no reason. So,
Look at that.
call back.
Way
Anyway.
back.
Thanks, Dan.
Cool. Yeah, thank you very much, Dan, and everybody else who listens to the show. Love to hear you guys' feedback. Little bit of unfortunate news for a second. Due to amount of time that we need to put into playing Metal Gear 2, as well as a lot of other things that are kind of currently weighing this boy down. We're gonna have to take a little bit of a break on Metal Gear Monday for a tad. Hopefully you guys don't forget about us and abandon us forever. But I do still plan on occasionally throwing some stuff up here. But I think just for the time being, we'll probably do a side op because I've gotten a fair amount of responses for us to cover next week. But then after that, we might have a little bit of filler content just until we can kind of all figure out the best kind of plan moving forward. So just a hidey-ho to that. I know that we mentioned that there might be a break like 3 or 4 weeks ago, but this is actual, like, the break starts here.
This is a brick
This
and mortar
isn't-
break, kids.
This isn't a breakup, all right, guys.
Yeah,
We're just taking
it's
a
not
break.
you, it's
We're
me.
just-
We're just taking
we're
time
just on a
off
break.
for a second.
We're just on a break, like Ross and Rachel,
Yeah.
Oh.
And
and they wound up together in the end. So really,
Now I'm just
it's-
fucking
it's good.
depressed.
And they had a baby together, so.
Spoilers.
Oh,
Did
oh my
they?
God, Isaac.
Oh,
They have a
I
baby
haven't seen
together?
that.
Geez, sorry.
But yes, Cameron being our Grand Prix guest seat.
Yeah.
Can you round us off? Tell the folks
yeah.
at home what to remember.
Real quick, I'll just say don't be too terribly depressed about the ending of Metal Gear Mondays, or not ending.
not
Whoa,
ending.
Hold on, man. I just said
Jesus
that.
Christ, what are
I
you
just
trying
said
to
it
do?
weird. I just said it weird.
Hiatus.
Hiatus. The hiatus. Me and a good old boy Nick Freda. We mentioned this earlier. We're doing a show called Grindcore, which is about RPGs, and it's also another like book club style type podcast, which is on the network. Geek Time. Thank you, Sam, for believing in me and letting me follow my dreams.
Hey, Papa.
He called me while I was sitting in bumper to bumper traffic for a while. Talked about it. It was and it's good.
Yeah. So it's going to be coming out like every Tuesday, but if you need that fix for a little Monday podcast, if that's kind of like your Monday commute, if you're part of the Patreon, you can get like an early day access to that. That's probably going to be happening in the next few weeks. We'll start releasing those a day early for Patreon. So, yeah, that'll be happening. And then I guess if I'm signing off, it's not the end. It's just a box.
Oh,
God damn.
Smooth.
That was good, dude.
phenomenal.
Just a box.